Thank you. I would like to call this public hearing meeting of the Yuma Union High School District number 70 to order. Since we said the pledge for our last meeting, and we'll say it again next meeting, I'm going to skip over that for this meeting. So going on to item number 2, review of budget revision for 24-25, a summary of the changes. Ms. Brenda. There we go.
Okay, good evening. My name is Brenda Higuera. I'm the Director of Finance. Thank you for coming to our public hearing for the budget. Governing Board, I believe you all have a copy of it in front of you. I'm going to make this pretty quick. As you remember, in July, we adopted our district budget for the school year. At that time, when we did the adoption, we adopted on the forms that had the old year formulas because they hadn't been released by the Auditor General's office. So one of the reasons for this revision is for us to put that information and adopt it on the updated forms. And we are allowed to do that through our revisions, right? The other thing you'll notice is that the reason we want to adopt them on the new forms is because it has the 2% increase for our funding. So that makes an impact on our overall budget amounts. So the primary reason for this revision is to have updated budget amounts for our M&O and capital funds, and also to put carryover in those two budgets. So I won't take you through. You have the budget packet in front of you. I did also update on the first page our tax rates that we got from the county. We do make sure that when I did the revision that any changes to enrollment was updated, but mostly where you're going to see the changes are on page 7. So I will direct you there. Page 7 is for our M&O. And so the difference that you'll see there is we actually had a $2 million increase in our M&O budget, and that's because of the increase that I mentioned earlier. And then our estimated carryover of $23 million is what the difference you'll see. So our once you adopt the budget, our budget amount for our maintenance and operation is $109,027,008. And then if you go to page 8, you'll see similarly for our capital that there our estimated carryover $6.4 million. And that really was the only change that we did from what we adopted. And so our budget will be $14,497,182. I want to remind you that once we complete the AFR in October, and then we get from the state what our carryover amounts will be, at that time the carryover might be a little bit different, and then if needed, we could do a revision in December. Any questions?
Does anybody have a question? I think we're good. You did a great job explaining it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much.
That concludes my report.
Woohoo! You're getting applause. That doesn't happen usually. Diane never got applause. All right. Is there a motion to adjourn? So moved. Thank you. Is there a second? Thank you. Motion made by Shelley, seconded by David. All those in favor say aye. 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 Opposed? Motion carries. We are adjourned till 5:15. I know. Thank you so much for being here. I would like to call to order this regular meeting of the Governing Board of Yuma Union District number 70. Would everybody please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of silence to remember the victims and heroes of 9/11.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 2, reports. Board members may have a discussion about conferences, visitations, legislation, special recognition, donations, etc. Do you have a report, Shelley?
I do.
Okay,
I was honored to attend as a delegate to the Arizona School Board Association Law Conference last week, and along with a lot of everyone pretty much here at this table, superintendents and assistant superintendents. And it's always great. We learn a lot of different things of just past experiences in law and the things to be looking for. One of the main things they discussed was a lot of AI and things going along with, AI. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But I guess the other part that is a byproduct, and I think we all shared that, is just meeting with fellow, board members and educators and leaders across the state that have the same heart and really want to serve their students and the needs of their students and their communities. And so it reaffirms, why we do what we do is because, we love the students and we love our community, and that's also across the state. And just to hear some of the challenges, that other communities and districts face as well. And so I always look forward to that part of it. Thank you.
Thank you. David? Okay, I would like to talk about the teaching and learning team that I had the privilege of meeting with on Monday. Thank you very much. I was so impressed by the entire team and all of the work that goes in behind the scenes, like has been mentioned before. So I thank you so much for sharing this information. And this is a fabulous led team that explains things in a very simple way for people like me who's not in teaching anymore, and I really appreciated that. I also got a chance to visit Kofa High School today, and I'm so grateful for having it set up and for having it led by Mr. Joe Daly. I really appreciated the beauty of the campus and the student body. They were passing in a period, and it was so orderly and calm, and it was just lovely. And then I got a chance to go into some history classes and hear how we are transferring the information of 9/11 to the next generation. And I was very moved, and so I'm very grateful for that. Thank you. Moving on to item 2.2, Superintendent's Report. Tim.
Thank you, Board President. We have a monthly series of introducing administrators, and this is our second installment, and we're very proud and happy to have 3 campuses that we'll be introducing today. Seems like since you mentioned COFA, that's a good segue, so we're going to start off with the COFA administration. Ms. Campa.
So don't worry, this is the agenda. I don't have a whole lot. Not this time. Okay, good evening. Thank you for having us here tonight. It is my honor to be here representing COFA along with my team. It's been pretty interesting this year at COFA, but also the most interesting thing that I had, my aha moment today was when Mr. Joe Daly pointed out, you started working at Yuma Union in 1995? I'm like, Joe, I know. And he looked at me like, wow. Thank you, Joe. So I was talking to Mr. Daly regarding what am I going to say that's going to be interesting, and he's like, well, say that you've been working since 1995. So it's kind of ironic, or not ironic, but really I have grown up being part of YUHSD, and as a young daughter of two immigrant parents to the United States, I was always very touched and at the same time annoyed by my parents because I was never allowed to do a whole lot of things because family comes first. And as a grown-up, full circle, family is everything to me. And today when Mr. Daly pointed that out, I realized how YUHSD is my family, and that's all I know, which is crazy. So when we were doing and thinking as a team, what are we gonna do? I don't like just like standing and talking the whole time. I like to have things that are more interactive, and we're not gonna do a performance or anything. But I thought, okay, we need to show our governing board and our superintendents the things that we have learned in high school that made us be college and career ready. So I did have to write those on a sticky because I knew that I would not be able to see it because, like I said, according to Mr. Daly, I've been here since 1995, and that makes me apparently super old. One of the things that I wanted to share with all of you, and some of the skills that I have learned some of the skills that I learned throughout my high school career, and since I continue to be in high school, is to be resilient. When I came over to the United States, I didn't know English, and my mom did not want me to be in an SEI class. Miss Apple, my third grade teacher, and my mom decided that they would completely remove me from SEI, and they threw me in a sink or swim program where I needed to just learn English. And to me, it's something that really made me the person that I am now, because I continue to go through different things throughout my life. And thank you to Mrs. Apple, who still works at Carver. I became resilient since that age, right? And I left all of my family in Mexico to come here. The other thing that I feel that I learned in high school and throughout my schooling is the interpersonal skills, which I always feel that that's probably my biggest forte. I can speak to anyone, and I have friends who really get annoyed because everywhere I go, I end up talking to someone, and I end up, spending tons of time just talking to people. But I do feel that I do connect with people on different levels, and I'm able to do that, which ties into building those relationships that I get to build, not only with adults, but with students, which I think that's my biggest inspiration to get up in the morning. It's kids like the ones that are, all of you that are here tonight. But the last thing, lately, as an adult, I've been able to adapt to different changes. As going into my third year as a school principal at COFA, I had a different academic assistant principal every single year, and boy, it's been fun. And really, it has been, because I have learned to work, with different personalities, but at the same time, I have seen them grow, and some of them are, well, both of them are principals. Actually, you'll get to meet one of them tonight. And I feel like that has really been something that not only did I learn in grade school, but I have been able to use it now as an adult, being adaptable to different things that happen and to different people. So I wanted to share that with you. How did I become college and career ready? And again, I keep on saying that my inspiration, and I think you're going to hear that until I'm no longer here in front of you, but my biggest inspiration will always be students. I think that's my biggest cup of coffee that I drink every single morning. knowing that I'm able to come and I get to work with kids. That's it, right? It is my honor this evening to introduce my amazing team. And like I said, I have been able to work with them since July, and it's been fun. Lots of different personalities, but that's what makes the team. It's the different personalities that we all bring, and it's my honor to have them with me, behind me, in front of me, and hopefully better than me. So again, my honor is them, and thank you for everything you do for me. So with that, Mr. Daly.
Okay. So before I start to my defense, I do not give Ms. Compa a hard time about her age. I was 9 years old in 1995 though, so just something to think about. Sorry, Ms. Compa. Hi everybody. Just wanted to. I think I met all of you last year at one point, but just kind of wanted to give you just a recap of who I am. I was born here in Yuma. I was born at the Kofa King. My family, if you know them, they bleed the crimson color. So it's nice being in this location. I've been in athletics my whole life, from the start when I was a little kid all the way through my career as a teacher and a coach, and then moved into the AD role. And Ms. Compa and moved me over to academics, and so I'm like, all right, let's see what this goes with, and I'm excited for it. It's a great challenge. It's a whole new world. So I'm not, oh, that's a double play, or that's this, and now I'm like, oh, this is a transcript, and this is what we got to do over here. So I'm very, very honored and very excited for the challenge as just learning new things, and that's what this YUHSD family has always done. Just a little bit about me. My first jobs, I was a paper boy growing up. Once I was able to ride a bike. And then I also drove tractors, and I worked for my uncle, and he paid me, I think even it was probably below minimum wage if I remember correctly, but I just remember going back and forth on these fields, and it really gave me some grit. It really made me a stronger person, and there were long hours, especially over the summer. I was a student athlete growing up. But I think the thing that I really want to point out is I was a student with special services. I have a hearing impairment. I was born with it. And all through my life, I was receiving special services. I was one of those students that when you got to high school, you cared about what other people thought about you. And so I didn't want to wear my hearing aids. And so I had to sit up in the front of the class. I had to get all A's, all B's, whatever it might be. And I had to work through a lot of that stuff that just, maybe it was working harder than I needed to, but when I went to ASU, the first class I had was 750 students, and I was like, okay, I need the hearing aid back. I can't hear a thing. So, but it made me who I am today, just to be able to serve all students, not just our students with special services, but all students. So that's just a little bit about me, and without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to Miss Lauren.
Hello. Good evening, Board President Kravitz, board members, Superintendent Mr. Brianza, and Associate Superintendents Mr. Bosch, Ms. Cordery, and Mr. Jankowski. So my name is Teresa Lauren, and this is my third year as the Activities Assistant Principal at COFA. One fact about me that I thought you would like to know, since you've probably heard my bio the last 2 years. So one fact about me is that I attended 10th through 12th grade in Kaiserslautern, Germany on an army base. When I think of college career readiness, I have to give my praises to being offered the opportunity to be in JROTC. This program ensured me that I was able to excel in my academics, in my leadership, and then also in my community. So if you think about serving in a JROTC overseas, I was able to see some of the most wonderful places like Bastogne and things like that. So definitely worth the travel. The JROTC program, it ingrained in me who I am today. So my character, my work ethic, and my leadership. I also worked at a youth center on the base. It was a super tiny base. So my senior year, and a few months after graduation as well. So my parents weren't ready to PCS back to the States yet. I remember working at a school age with school age children and telling myself, like, this is where I want to be. Impacting the lives of the children, interacting with them. So I'm only like 4 feet, 11 inches, give or take. So most of the children, they've always been my height ever since I was like 17, 18, and it still continues this day. So it really, really opened my eyes, you know, because we're right at eye level, but it opened my eyes to what I wanted to do in the future and just bringing the value of impacting children and my love for children to my future career. So I'm still loving every day and enjoy being around children every day. And now I will introduce Miss Pacewick. I believe it's Miss Pacewick.
Hi, welcome, or good evening. I'm tired. It's been a long week, and it's only Wednesday. So just a little bit about me. I mean, you can see what's up there, but I've been in the district now. This is my 20th year. When I moved down here from North Dakota in 2005, I was hired and started at Vista. I was at Vista from 2005 to 2012. And then I was given the opportunity to either not have a job or go to Vista, or go to San Luis, sorry. And I went to San Luis, and that's where I spent all of my time until this year, where I am now experiencing Kofa High School and enjoying it. It's a challenge, it's different, but it's definitely gonna help me grow. Again, I'm from North Dakota. I went to Dickinson State University, where I got my degree in physical education and health. While I was there, I was a lifeguard, and I did statistician for football and wrestling. Lifeguarding really opened my eyes to working with little kids, dealing with teenagers, and it was a lot of fun. Watching the kids when they figure out how a stroke connects, how a movement connects and helps push them forward, really got me thinking that that's definitely what I wanted to do. I want to help these kids and our students figure out what makes their eyes open. I did not necessarily have that in high school. I had a lot of people look down on me and say, you're not going to do anything because of the family situation that I was in. But I went to college and I proved them wrong. Then I was able to continue and get my master's degree in school counseling, again, proving people wrong. And so I like to help our students figure out how they can prove people wrong and find their next step in their fire. Thank you. And Ms. Masariegos.
Roll the R's. Good evening, everyone. My name is Alba Mazariegos, and if you want to learn how to say it, it's Mazariegos, if you want to say it in English, but Mazariegos, if you want to say it in Spanish. I am a Yuma native. I actually graduated from Cibola High School in 2001. Just like Ms. Campa, I come from from Mr. Brianza. He was never my teacher, though, but I did know him. Just like Ms. Campa, I have kind of a very similar story. Came from immigrant parents who grew up as a migrant student. One of my very first jobs, though, I wanted to start with that, is that I was a cashier when I was in high school. I was also a student athlete. I played soccer and I did track. And so I had the opportunity to get a job because I wanted a car. And my mom said, well, you have to work because I can't afford it. So I began working while I was also a student athlete. And so one of the things that I did learn, I was a cashier at a local lumber store out in the foothills at Foxworth, Galbraith. And one of the things that I learned from working there was that I always wanted to challenge myself. And so I worked there for 10 years. I worked there from when I graduated high school into AWC. And when I finished my bachelor's, that's when I started kind of like weaning off and looking for more opportunities. But the thing that I loved working there is that they were always up to challenge me. I worked in every department that there is at Foxworth. I know how to measure a house if you need insulation, so please let me know. But I learned how to read plans because I was always bored. And so once I got married, I met my husband here. He was in the Marine Corps, and so we got married in 2003. We moved around for about 18 years. And so we lived everywhere from California, Los Angeles, San Diego, Camp Pendleton, back to Yuma. Fortunately, we never went to the East Coast. We stayed in the West Coast. So my kids grew up in the military life, which, they're very fortunate to have lived that life because they, I have kids that were born in Los Angeles, San Diego, Yuma. So they're very California born though, which my husband is from Los Angeles. So once he retired from the military, we decided to retire here. He is from Los Angeles, and he now is currently a teacher at Cibola. He was at COFA, but now he's at Cibola. But I had to kick him out from COFA. But no, one of the things that, when I started working for Yuma Union, I've been working for Yuma Union for about 10 years already. I'm into my 11th year, but I started at the district office as an administrative assistant. I used to work for Ready Now Yuma, if you guys remember Ready Now Yuma. Crystal's not here today, right? She was actually one of my directors at the time. And so I was, there as well. I always, wanted to be challenged. And so one of the big challenges that was brought to me was from Laura Campbell, who was my director as well with Ready Now Yuma. And she's like, hey, I'm gonna be the principal at Vista. I want you to come with me. I want you to be my business teacher. Vista didn't work out. I actually was fortunate to go to COFA. So I taught for COFA for 6 years. And I remember being a first-year teacher, don't have any experience as anything to be a teacher. I have my degree in business and always worked in the business side and accounting and finance. And I remember my first year, it was really, really tough. But I took on the challenge. I've always looked at challenges to be my way to break through everything. And I still remember that when I fell in love with teaching is because I saw a lot of students who had my story, first generation migrant students. And so, sorry, I saw the way that I was able to impact those students, and that's when I fell in love. And sorry. Thank you. So I really, really enjoyed it. Till this day, I still have my students. Last year, I took on another challenge, and I became the director of student supports at Gila Ridge. And I really enjoyed working there because I was able to help out students outside of the four walls of a classroom, and I was able to impact more broader students. Then I took up another challenge, which I do have to run right after the board meeting because I have a football game going on. But now I am the assistant principal overseeing athletics, which is a big responsibility, and learning every single day, taking it a day at a time. But like always up for the challenge. And I want to thank you for welcoming me, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Do you guys have any questions? We'll take any questions.
So what do you guys have to end your presentation with?
Well, we don't have a performance, but we don't have a presentation. But
Don't you have a saying?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
We just have to say that once a king, always a king. Thank you.
Thank you.
We don't tell the campuses how to present or what to present, although I was a little worried when Lily was going to maybe do a song and dance, which would have been fine, but that was going to be a hard act for Mr. King or Yuma High to follow up with, but we do not give them a script. They go up and present, and I have to say that I learned 5 wonderful things today about each of those administrators, and we're so proud of all of our administrators and how they got to where they are today, and that they get to work with every single student. And with that, Mr. King and his team at Vista.
That's super small. Thank you, President Kravitz, members of the board, Superintendent Brienza, Associate Superintendents. My name is David King. I'm the proud principal of Vista High School. I appreciate the opportunity to introduce myself again. I'm entering my second year as the principal of Vista High School. Thank you. And as Mr. Brienza noted, it is a tough act to follow. I'm really glad that Lily didn't do a song and dance. One of the common threads that I heard tonight was about how many of my colleagues have grown up in the district, and I really, really connect with that. I started here. I think that I arrived here in Yuma, though I didn't grow up in Yuma. I arrived on the day after I graduated college. I've spent my entire adult life in Yuma, my entire professional life in Yuma, and I, as Lily would probably tell you, have grown up in Yuma. Lily met me when I was definitely needed growing up as a young guy. And I've had so many great mentors here in this district, growing up with a number of excellent principals and a number of excellent leaders in this district, working with Mr. Bosch and Mr. Brienza and some excellent principals with Mr. Sheldall and with Lily and Mr. Weir, and really been blessed to work with an excellent organization that is Yuma Union, and an excellent board, and I'm so lucky to be here. This is my second year at Vista, as I said. It's actually my 18th year in Yuma Union, my 6th year as an administrator. I started at Gila Ridge High School as an English teacher and the wrestling coach at Gila Ridge. I opened that school in 2007, teaching junior English and as the wrestling coach there. I'll never forget my interview kind of was actually in a hard hat, walking around on campus with Mr. Sheldall. And I was just blown away by what it would be to have the opportunity to start that school. I had no idea of the opportunities that I would have in this district, and I've had so many great opportunities here. I'm originally from Michigan, and then I came here again in 2007. After being an English teacher and wrestling coach, I went on to be an instructional leader at Gila Ridge, and then to COFA as an assistant principal. I was the assistant principal in charge of athletics and then academics, and then I was blessed to be called up to be the principal at Vista High School last year. Outside of school, I try to be as busy as I can not being at my desk. I really love to be outside in the outdoors. I travel, I hike, I try and take my truck everywhere I can. Minus the one that looks like it would survive the zombie apocalypse, I think. You've probably seen it in the parking lot. I love to spend time with my wife DJ and my beautiful daughters and son. I'm just so blessed, and would really like to thank this community for giving me the opportunity to lead this school and our board and the leaders that are part of it. I'm thankful every single day, so thank you all. I'd really like to introduce my colleague, my friend, the person who helps me to lead Vista High School, Miss Heather Acosta. This is her third year at Vista High School. She serves as our Director of Strategies for Success.
Okay, so I'm not as ready as everybody else. I just came off of leave. I just have a brand new grandbaby at home, so I'm getting all the pictures that I'm missing. They're like, hurry up and get home so I can hold her. But I want to thank you for allowing me to stay at Vista. This is my third year at Vista. I feel very blessed to work with those students. One, I can say is those students are resilient as I was as growing up. I came from a home of a teen mom and dad, in which my father was incarcerated for a very long time. So I walked in the shoes of most of our students that go through Strategies for Success and Vista as well. So I'm able to relate to them and show them that just because of a path that your family goes or may lay out for you is not the path that you have to choose. So I am very happy to stay at SFS and be able to mold and also be a model for those students in the social emotional part that is missing. And that's why I tell them in our orientation and when I present to them is that I literally tell them I'm going to drown you with social emotional, and you're going to see that when you go back to your home school that you can make it, even with some little mistakes we have made. As I said, I have come from a family, I was the first generation to graduate with 2 masters, and I continued on, and I'm still continuing on. Mr. King, I remember the first day I met him, he's like, all right, you're gonna be an assistant principal, and I said, no, I want to be a BCBA, a board certified behavioral analyst. I love behaviors. People think I'm crazy, but that's just my passion. But I think he has pushed me really hard last year to be a stronger leader. And I'm like, oh boy, he's making me want to be an assistant principal, thanks. So that means I have to go back to college, and I don't know if I'm ready, but I was fortunate enough to ask Miss Anderson to help me because she was one of the ones, I didn't get lucky to have Mr. Brianza to hire me, but Miss Anderson hired me. And she helped me get a scholarship because my tribe, I am Native American, and I was able to get a full scholarship to go become assistant principal. So thanks, Mr. King, for making me go back to school. But that just means that I'm hoping to grow and reach more students and show them that, as I said before, that the path that your family lays for you is not necessarily the path that is meant for you. Outside of school, like I said, I'm a grandma. I'm super excited to see her grow. I'm sure many people in here know Nalani. She went to Vista, so Vista will hold dear to my heart. Helped her through some very hard times. I was very fortunate enough to watch her grow through Vista and graduate early and receive a very big scholarship because Vista teachers and staff helped her hand in hand, and they still do. So I just want to thank you, one, for helping my daughter and now myself, and hopefully one day my grandbaby. So thank you again for allowing me to be the SFS director at Vista.
Thank you all so much. Are there any questions? Yeah, I'll end with my same spiel that I always have. I invite anyone to please come visit our campus, take a tour. There are links on our district website to come to visit any of our campuses in the district, but to come and see the amazing things that are happening on our campuses, but especially at Vista and at Strategies. I think there are some QR codes you can scan. Mr. Patton probably has a card in his pocket that you can do to come check it out and spend an hour with me, and I'd love to show you all the great things that are happening. So thank you.
Thank you. Miss Acosta, you can leave to go be with your grand princess. So I know she's waiting for you. But thank you for being here, both of you. Last but not least for this meeting, we do have our oldest campus. I didn't say our oldest principal, Ms. Campa, who's been working since '95. Our oldest campus, Mr. Fritz. And Ms. Campa is not our oldest principal, contrary to what Mr. Daly believes.
Good evening, Board President Kravitz, Governing Board, Superintendent Brianza, Associate Superintendents. Thank you for having us tonight, this evening. My name is Mike Fritz. I'm the principal at Yuma High School. This is my 5th year at Yuma High School, and I'm the proud principal of Yuma High School. I moved here, again, I guess I'm giving my age away, which I guess is a theme, back in 2004. Spent a semester student teaching, looking for a job back in Wisconsin. And Mrs. Klostrike, Mr. Steen gave me an opportunity to work at Cibola teaching health and PE. and I took advantage of it. Drove down. I might have told the story before, but I thought I was going to be here for about nine months, and I thought I'd move back to Wisconsin. Obviously haven't left. Have a wonderful family, 2 amazing daughters, and professionally, I've grown. I've had the opportunity to work with great people. Everything I've known professionally really has been from the Yuma Union High School District and the growth from the Yuma community, so I'm extremely proud of all that's happened in our district and all that it's given me. So I'm grateful for that for sure. Yuma High School, we've had a great start to the school year. We've had the dedication, the naming of the Taylor Dean McBride Auditorium, so I want to thank the board for that. We had a great event, a great weekend. I know, talking with the core leaders, they were extremely appreciative of that. We've also had the opening of our science labs. Our students and teachers are extremely excited just to see all the activity, the instruction that's going on in that space that we have now, something I'm extremely proud of, so thank you for that. Also, we've had the opening of our Army JOTC program, which has over 80 students in it. At this time, Major Branch and First Sergeant Conway are doing some amazing work, developing leaders, developing future criminal leaders, as you know. So we're extremely proud of that. Extremely proud of all the criminal activity on the north end. I loved using the criminal, I think they're puns. I was a PE teacher, but so we're extremely proud of that. Before I turn it over to my assistant principals that are here, we did have a song and dance planned. However, Mr. Anderson, he scheduled a cross-country meet, and he was the key to it all. He did the singing part. I was going to do some of the dance. So he's at the cross-country meet. So Mr. Anderson's awesome. I think most people in here, I think, know Mr. Anderson, a great leader. He's overseeing athletics for us this year as an assistant principal. We're extremely excited about that. We also have our Director of Student Supports, Brenda Smith, who isn't here. I don't remember which role she had in the song and dance, but she's done amazing work. You've seen her before with our dropout prevention, our amazing dropout rates. She was a big part of that, building a team, and she took the role on of Director of Student Supports. We're excited to see her journey as an administrator as we move forward. And without further ado, I will let the rest of my team introduce themselves. Thank you so much.
Good evening. My name is Marcy Sanchez. I am working on my 3rd year here at Yuma High. I am a Yuma native, born and raised here in Yuma, Arizona. We bleed blue in my family, Joe. Criminals. We have my grandparents, my parents, myself, and my daughter, so 4 generations of criminals. And as Mr. Fritz stated with the dedication, it's been nice to be being back on my home campus with Taylor McBride. I get to see Mr. Thomas softball field, so just teachers that I was able to be a part of their legacy while I was in high school, which it's also really exciting when we have our Hall of Fame for athletics and those friends and families of athletics, because you get to hear just the motivation and support that has really inspired a lot of our local alumni, and so to be a part of that is really special to me. So I'm very grateful that I am at Yuma High. Thank you. In my career here in this district, I've been the athletic director at COFA, activities director at San Luis, and now I oversee academics and exceptional student services at Yuma High. So it truly is an honor for me to continue to be in the district. I did leave for a little bit, and when I did, I was a behavioral coach specialist, and so I supported classrooms with mainly self-contained and de-escalating student behaviors for our emotionally disabled students and families. And I think what I really learned from that, one, is how much I missed home and how much I missed this district, and I appreciated the investments that are granted to our educators and our leaders for our continual professional development. Another thing I took away is how important it is to build relationships with families and meeting the families where they are and continuing to be team players, because they're doing the best that they can, and so we do the best that we can and just try to build that bridge. I guess on the theme of age, I have a bragging moment. I'm not bragging that I turned 50, but I'm a Disney fanatic, and so I have 2 adult daughters, wonderful daughters, and so they want to take me to Disneyland, and so they planned it. So to have 2 adult daughters, one is paying for my ticket, one is paying for the hotel rooms, and I haven't had to plan one thing, is a huge, huge like success. I'm like, what? I mean, not $1 right now, but I don't know, when we get to Disney, it'll probably be something a little different. But so, and I started off, one of my first jobs, I was an instructional aide for 4th grade at Ronald Reagan. And I was talking to my mom about it. We were joking, but I think my paycheck was probably like $200, $250, I don't know. It was signed by, back when Mr. Drysdale used to sign the checks. My mom worked for him for years, so we were chuckling at that because I'm like, first, I just felt like it was so much money then. It was then. I think it was then. But just thinking about my years in education and just feeling very grateful and appreciative that you continue to allow me to serve here in our community. And I appreciate the investments that you do take in us and continuing our growth as well. So thank you so much for allowing me that. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Cecile Lopez, and I am the Assistant Principal of Activities and only Activities this year, something that I'm very excited for. I am the proud mom of 2 amazing boys. They are my biggest blessing in life. They just make everything worthwhile. I've been with our district for over 20 years in different capacities. I actually started as the receptionist at the district office back when it was not looking like this. I've done a lot of things. I started out as a teacher at COFA. Well, started as a receptionist, worked my way to the business office, and then from there went left to do my student teaching, and then came back to teach at COFA. And I taught at COFA for 15 years. I taught math, and then decided to try my my shot at being an assistant principal. And so it's been challenging, but it's been an awesome opportunity. I am a proud product of this district, just like a lot of our administrators. I love my community, and I am so thankful for the opportunity to serve our staff and students. I'm also thankful for working with the same leadership team for the last 2 years. We grow and learn from each other every day. And so it's been amazing to be at Yuma High School. I'm a better listener than I am a talker or speaker. So, I think we work together very well, and we make our campus so much better. And I think Yuma High School is a great place to be at. So thank you.
Thank you, and go Criminals.
Thank you. And Ms. Lopez, that was the biggest smile I've seen when you said you're only doing activities. I know you do miss athletics, but it's great. But Mr. Anderson and Ms. Smith, I'm sure they wish they could be here so we could have that performance, Mr. Fritz, but maybe we can book that next time. Yeah, no problem. Next up, I have one more leader I want to introduce. That's Mr. Semler. If I could bring our new Executive Director of Teaching and Learning up to the podium. Just making sure he's still here. Well, anyway, I'm glad that he is here. I just wanted to let him say a few things about himself. I was just thinking we really should have a nice picture of our executive directors and as we introduce them as well, so we don't have a picture
That's me
of you.
right there.
Yeah, it's you right there.
That's it.
Well, it is because we grow our own. So without stealing any thunder, I'll let Mr. Semler talk about himself, and the floor is yours.
So in 1995, I was 3 years old. And in 2024, I got to show Joe Daly what a transcript looks like. So, no, but I'm just really honored to be the new executive director of teaching and learning here for YUHSD. I have the opportunity to lead a great, just really a fantastic teaching and learning team. And we are committed to just keeping the personalized learning moving forward. I mean, we're at a really critical time in our district, and having been in this district now for 9 years, this will be my 10th. And at every level, starting, teacher and coach to assistant principal, and now here at the district office, I'm just really excited that I've got to experience this transition, in each phase of my career. A few things we have on the horizon. We're just looking at expanding the opportunities we can provide our students, whether that be, you know, the dual credit opportunities we're offering on our campuses. I had a great meeting with CTE earlier today talking about work-based learning. I mean, the horizon, or everything that's on the horizon, is just unbelievable for YUHSD. And so to be able to play a key role in that process, I'm just really excited at the challenge. So I'd be happy to meet with any of you guys when you have some time to talk about teaching and learning and what we have coming down the pike. But other than that, that's me, and just really excited to be here. So thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Semler. He's a proud graduate of Gila Ridge High School. He might have had Mr. King there because I think he was part of the first class. Right now, I would like to bring up our students. So our student councils will be presenting again this year. They'll be presenting once a semester, which is a little different than last year. And we're going to start off with our flagship school of Yuma High School.
Good evening, Board President Klavitz, Superintendent Brianza, and board members. My name is Sylvia Garias. I'm Student Body President at Yuma High School. Today we'll be going over all-around campus updates, outstanding student achievements, and upcoming events. To start off, we have our Spirit Week for Fall Home Opener. We had a great turnout with a lot of participation all around campus. So there's some pictures from our Spirit Week. We also had our Spirit Parade on August 30th. We had our second annual Spirit Parade to kick off our fall sports and our first home football game. Our CT Ambassadors Breakfast. Yuma High School CT leaders hosted a welcome breakfast for our new Yuma High School CT Ambassadors to kick off the new school year. Our research building remodelization. Our research building has been under construction for the last 2 years. And this August, we finally revealed our new science classrooms and long-awaited lounge area. Our Taylor D. McBride Auditorium dedication. A special dedication ceremony was held on Friday, August 23rd to name the auditorium inside our Snyder Hall, the Taylor D. McBride Auditorium. Student Athlete of Distinction. Andrew Mosqueda, Sr., was chosen for Yuma County Student Athlete of the Week for his ongoing achievements both on and off the field. Criminal POG Students of the Month. Caitlin Hitzman, Briseya Salcedo, Neilani Yepes Nieto, Alexa Navicasto. We also this past Monday hosted our senior sunrise where seniors had a morning picnic with pastries and stuff like that to welcome the senior year. Upcoming events, we have our Homecoming Festival, starting a new tradition on campus, hosting a Homecoming Festival where many students of our clubs on campus will have booths and activities at a rivalry Yuma versus Kofa game on September 20th. Our Rise and Shine staff breakfast, September 12th and 13th. And finally, our seniors versus junior girls powder puff, where they play a game of flag football. These are some activities at our rivalry game for our festival. We hope to see you all there, by the way, next Friday at 7 p.m. And thank you for your time, and remember, it is always a great day to be a criminal.
Thank you. 65 years of playing against each other, so next Friday will be a big day. Along those lines, I guess we have the other school involved in that, Kofa High School.
Good evening, board members, superintendents, and the community. My name is Savannah Molinar, and I'm the Kofa Student Body President.
Hello, my name is Alina Amador. I am the junior class president.
To begin, a few staff and student achievements. Our very own Redini Aguirre became a published author in May. Her poem was selected to be published in the spring edition of the American High School Poets. Mr. Jason Flora has represented KOFA over summer at the National Congress of Science Education, and I, Savannah Molinar, have been selected to represent Yuma County on the Arizona Youth Arts Council, which is a statewide program.
Now for some club highlights. The Veterans Heritage Project hosted a social for the veterans they interviewed and published in a book called Since You Asked. They also collected a presentation of photographs of the previous veterans they interviewed. Our very own COFA personal finance team won the statewide personal finance competition and qualified for nationals, representing us in Ohio. Over the summer, COFA Junior State of America won Chapter of the Year in Southern California and Arizona region. They receive a plaque and 2 scholarships for their hard work. COFA Student Council represented Yuma at Gilbert High School for the Arizona Associations of Student Councils Spirit Conference. The theme was 90 years of leadership, and we dressed as grannies to celebrate.
Over summer, COFA was able to accomplish some amazing things. JRTC brought home numerous medals and honors at the National Rifle Association Rifle Championship. Many CTE classes, including Law and Public Safety, Future Business Leaders of America, and Construction, represented COFA amazingly, earning many medals and awards. And several fall sports are off to a great start, already racking up wins from freshman football to varsity volleyball.
COFA Student Council has completed our first assembly, commemorating the fall sports and the first home varsity football game. The theme was Back to the Beach. All of our performers did an amazing job, and we were even able to incorporate some teachers in a student-teacher performance.
Our first varsity home game was very exciting. We fought hard against Antelope, and we went toe-to-toe into overtime. The determination of our team is a great indication of a strong season ahead of us. For our portrait of a graduate, we chose to highlight the monthly interclub meetings hosted by Student Council. These meetings allow clubs to interact with each other, introduce upcoming events, and build a stronger high school community bond. This is a great example of high school communication and collaboration, encouraging the clubs to work with each other rather than alone.
Two of our upcoming events open to everyone is Burning of the Y on September 19th and the Homecoming Carnival Game and Parade on October 19th. Here is a scroll of our upcoming events being passed by Savvy.
Thank you for having us, and as always, remember, once a king, always a king.
Thank you. Madam President, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. It's our favorite part of the meeting. Students, you do not need to stay if you don't want to, but you're welcome to. And I would encourage anybody watching this or here to please schedule a tour of our campuses. They're so wonderful, as some of our principals mentioned. And also check out our updated and awesome website that Mr. Patton and his team have been working so hard on for some great information. Okay, moving on to informational items. Item 3.1 budget update, overview of the 2024-2025 YUHSD internal budget. Ms. Brenda, you're back.
Hello again. This time I'm presenting on our current internal budget. This is our monthly update. As a reminder, because we have not adopted the budget yet, you'll do that later. This budget is what was adopted in July, so that'll be updated for next month. You should have our M&O budget in front of you, our maintenance and operations budget on page 1. You'll see our salaries, our fixed expenditures, as well as our school budgets for the month of August. So this is as of September 3rd. And then on the next page, it's continued and it's broken down by the different departments. I do just want to remind you that our contingency budget is at 0 because we didn't have our carryover when we adopted that, so that will be updated after the adoption this evening. With that being said, our budget, our adopted budget is 83,053,031. Of that, we have spent 9,396,418 so far. The next page is our capital budget, and that is similarly, this also, our contingency does not include any of our carryover, which is why if you see, based on our expenditures, it shows that that percentage that is overspent. But again, once you adopt our budget, then that will be rectified. You'll see that change next month. So the budget that we have for our capital currently is $8,096,006. Expenditures so far is $694,978. And then the last page is our monthly student activities fund report. And there you will see the ending cash balance. This is for all of the clubs for our district is the $707,310.27. And then on the bottom, you'll see year to date. And what we want to see there is that they're spending it, which is why you see that there's like a negative balance. Any questions?
Does anybody have a question? No, you did a great job explaining it again. Thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 3.2, first read of policies. I think we're going to do the ASBA first. Mr. Rob Jankowski.
Yes, so again, attending the ASBA Law Conference, I've learned, there are legislative updates that occur every year. And so this is the first time for me, but I guess it happens every year. So these are just little tweaks to policies that have gone into effect due to legislative updates. And so this is the first read of the policies, and at the next governing board meeting, they will be up for approval.
We had them in our book. Does anybody have a question about these policies? Okay, thank you. Let's move on to informational item 3.3, which is first read of the trust policies, which are effective July 1st, 2025. I'll send it back your way.
So again, over the next several board meetings, we will be having some study sessions to start looking at as we transition into the trust policies. This is the first series of policies that we are bringing to the board. Again, this is the first read, and it will be on the next board agenda for approval.
We also had these in our books. Any questions? No, we're good. Thank you so much. Moving on to item 3.4, student nutrition update. Miss Elena, we look forward to hearing from you.
Okay, let's see. Good evening, thank you very much. Just wanted to give you a quick update. There we go. We converted to CEP this year, so that means all students are served breakfast and lunch at no cost. And with the help of Eric Patton's team, our marketing campaign has worked. We are up overall 1,000 lunches a day. Cibola and Hill Ridge, considerable. We're serving 60% of the population at Cibola lunch, and Hill Ridge is not far behind at 55. So we are making a huge impact. So that was just in August. September, we're already surpassing what we had anticipated, which is great. So it's really, it's pretty amazing that the word has gotten out. Next was, as we transition into kind of a different level, the big focus has been on developing our managers and assistant managers. This summer, we spent a lot of time on getting them their manager certification, which is a 5-year certification in sanitation and food safety. So everyone has gotten it, and we're moving forward, which is great. That was a new initiative. We've also been spending a lot of time on empowering ownership and really having them kind of own in on their leadership and coaching skills, which is really as important as we've added staff and we're adding services. So it's been huge. Also with the overall team, we've spent a good deal of time at our back to school meeting and the upcoming PD day. We have scheduled a lot of hands-on cross-training, cross-school, kind of mingling workshops, fun activities, and some culinary training, and it's been very successful. Here's just some pictures. We had some Shining Stars recognition last year, so it's kind of fun. This is our back to school workshop We actually had it in this room. The activity that they had to do was break into groups and do the marshmallow challenge, where they took a marshmallow, dry spaghetti, string, tape, and build a high tower. And so they had a lot of fun. And they were mixed up in groups that they didn't know each other, so that was huge. Next is moving forward. I've been spending a lot of time, along with the managers out in the schools, meeting with students in different groups. Stuco has been great. Actually, tomorrow I'm meeting with the Green Club at Hilla Ridge, and getting feedback. You know, are we doing what we're supposed to be doing? What other great ideas they have? And doing some taste tests. Actually, out of Cebola's Student Senate, the Canvas banner idea came out, where we have a poll question and the weekly menu is featured, so the students have easy access to what the menu is. We've also been focusing on student satisfaction. The Canvas banner, BB, was the one that really kind of took it to light, the concept to reality, and a huge shout out to BB. We are continuing with the after-school programs. We're up to 9. This was originally done, we only had 7. So we are adding programs every day, which is great, because it's a no-cost to the students, and it's a great benefit for students that are staying after school. For any activity, any club, any reason, they are entitled to have a supper. We have been pushing student workers. We actually have 2 starting tomorrow at Yuma, which would make a total of 3. We have 2 applicants in the pile for Cebola, where we're going to start interviewing. Hilla Ridge has 1 starting tomorrow, and we have 1 at San Luis. So working with the CTE group, we're going to try to really push that. It's nice to have the students that come before school, kind of during the day. We have the 1 student at Yuma that actually is an early release, and he wants the gap between when he gets out to 2:30. So we could accommodate their schedules. And it's good learning experience, gives them great job references, and it also gives us a lot of help, which is great. And then community partners, we did start recently. The big push last year with ADE was buying local. I kind of hit some brick walls in terms of finding partners, but the Yuma County Health Department has now a specialist that is designed to just focus on local with the schools, so we've been partnering with them to try to get that going. And that is it. Any questions, anything? No?
I have a comment, which is, thank you.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
I actually have a request. Can you please tell them how you'll be representing us in the future?
Oh, I got volunteers.
She loves.
She
loves talking about herself.
ADE has reached out. They are forming I forget, the School Advisory Program, School Nutrition Program Advisory Council. So I'll be representing Yuma Union High School District. There's about 6 other directors in the state, with a whole long list of representatives from ADE. It's a monthly meeting online, and so just kind of looking at local wellness initiatives, programming, the audit process, because you take federal funds, you're going to get site reviews, and just kind of the nutritional standards and stuff, and some of the challenges. So it's pretty cool. We haven't had our first meeting yet, so that's October 8th. So it's kind of it was really nice to be asked. So it's cool.
Well deserved, for sure.
Yeah,
Thank
it's
you.
fun. Thank you, thank you.
And our last but not least informational item is Unified Sports. Derek.
Yes, we have some wonderful things going on in our district with Unified Sports, and I know we have a couple of teachers here this evening, along with some students who I know are not nervous. I was speaking to them earlier, and they're thrilled. So I'm going to introduce our Executive Director of Student Services, Mr. Keller, who's going to make a few introductions, and we're going to let you guys know what's going on with Unified Sports.
Thank you.
I'm going to fix this before I get up here. I got it. Good evening, everybody. So first of all, we have a lot of really cool things going on with athletics with our students and with special needs and special education. They have several different opportunities. So we have Unified Sports, which is basically run by our unified teachers on our campuses, and we have a lot of inter-district events that are going to be happening throughout the year. We also have our students participating in AIA sports, Unfortunately, swimming's not one of them. We're bummed out about that this year, but we've got some other things that are coming up along the lines. And then we also partner with Special Olympics. So our students have a lot of opportunities, and I am very proud to announce a couple of our fantastic teachers. So Miss Jonica Flores and Mr. Tom Spanton are going to come up and talk to us today. And I'm also going to have Jonica introduce her students that she's going to be bringing up, and they're going to tell you all about unified sports.
Hi, everybody. My name is Mrs. Flores, and I'm here representing Cibola. And I would like to just thank everyone for listening to our presentation and all the great things that we have going on at Cibola High School. I brought with me two of our outstanding athletes today. We have with us Josue and Ayana, and I would like them to come on up and just tell you a little bit about their experience being an athlete in unified sports.
Hello, my name is Josue Castillo. I am a senior at Cibola High School, where I have been part of Unified PE for 4 years. I also am a member of Unified Swim, Basketball, and Track. My favorite thing about Unified Sports is the exercise and the friendship.
Hi, my name is Diana Otado. I am a junior at Cibola High School. I am in Unified PE, and I am also is a Unified Swim, Unified Basketball, and Unified Track. My favorite things about Unified Sport is competing against other teams.
Thank you both. You did great. I'm very proud of you. One of our co-teachers, Miss Cormier, she actually started off as a paraprofessional at Cibola, and now she's a certified special education teacher. Her and some students created this slideshow. Just a couple of slides, if we could go to the next one. Let's see. Here we go. So I'm not sure if you guys are aware, but we sort of have a partnership with Special Olympics in two different ways. One of them is we offer unified sports at on the campus during school for PE, and then we have AIA after school. So both of the students here participate on both levels, and I would just like to thank the board, the district, everyone for supporting those programs. When I first started at Cibola, this is my 10th year, we had one unified PE class with maybe 6 kids, and at Cibola now we have 3 unified PE classes with almost 90 students. And half of the students are students with special needs, and the other half is what we call unified partners. So our program has really grown. We do a very strict application process to be a buddy or a partner. Students have to complete an application, they have to get a letter of recommendation, and then we meet as a committee and we look at their grades, we look at their attendance, and then we decide if they get to be in our program or not. Unfortunately, we can't have everyone in the program, so we have that criteria to make sure we have the best influences possible on the students. So we are growing, and we're very appreciative of your support. These are some of our upcoming events. We're doing bowling at Wild River next week, and then Cibola is hosting that. And then we're also hosting bocce at the PAC on the 17th, and each one of the schools in the district takes turn hosting an event. We host 2, we're excited to host them, and these are just some photos of our students. Currently we're doing swimming, and that's the after school program, and then next up on the agenda is basketball. And both of the students here are athletes in basketball. So, and I would also like to thank Mary. She's our representative here from Special Olympics, and we have a wonderful partnership with her. So thank you, Mary. Really quick, the last thing I want to talk about is last year Cibola was invited to apply for the Champion Schools program through Special Olympics. And it's basically a award that's bestowed upon schools that go above and beyond for being inclusive. And that's not just athletics, but it's providing leadership opportunities for students with intellectual disabilities. So we've been working really hard at Cibola to make that happen. And last May, I completed the application. It was about a week-long process. And we will know in December if we will be awarded. So it's very exciting. It goes to a Arizona state level, and if they agree that we meet the criteria, then it goes to a national level. And if we receive the award, it's a very big deal. They come out with all the pomp and circumstance and the media, and it's a really big honor. So we're very excited to hopefully be the first school in the district, high school in the district, to receive the award. There's only one other school in Yuma that received it, and that's Desert Mesa. But we would potentially be the first high school, so we're hoping to lead the way for other high schools to potentially join us. So that is a great segue to my partner here, representing COFA, Mr. Spanton.
Hi, good evening. Thank you for having me. Those of you that don't know me, this is a very special occasion, and the fact that I'm wearing pants. Jonica said I needed to dress business casual, and I don't know what that means. So my wife helped me out, so those of you that know my wife, and let her know if she did okay or not, and I'm sure I'll hear about it. But anyway, again, thank you for having me. First shout out goes to Miss Campa in the back. If you look at one of the pictures here, she was able to find some money for me, and a little pet project. There's a room that's right next to my classroom that was technically kind of a dumping ground. Luckily, she saw the little vision that I had and allowed us to clean the room, gut the whole thing from pretty much from the ground up. And it's kind of you can't really tell, but the before picture, before there was any tape, it was kind of hard to see the floor. That's old scoreboard, desks, tables, you name it, that was in that room. So with maintenance and the school to work class that I teach, we were able to get the kids and kind of gut the room. And then again, Ms. Campa found some money for me, and took me 3 weeks, but pretty happy with the results. And we just actually finished our shuffleboard unit, something the kids had never heard of, many of the adults never heard of. But I welcome any of you in the community if you want to come and play shuffleboard. Ms. Campa owes me the first game, though, when she gets 100%. We've got a little challenge going on from last year, so. But please, if anyone, come down and take a look. Speaking of that, if anyone can find some extra money for air conditioning for the room, that would be wonderful. I had to put that little plug there. But it's kind of cool. I actually have been teaching unified sports before it was unified sports. And I don't know the timeline, but it's a long time. And we kind of made things up as we went along, had some good partnerships and had some good conversations about what we're doing. But everything is about being inclusive, preparing the kids for life after high school. So we do things more than just physical things. We do some things in the classroom as well. I like to incorporate health on Wellness Wednesdays. And well, with the mentors that we have, several of them are actually teachers in the district right now, so I'm very proud of that, from COFA High School. Ms. Lopez's son, who is in college right now, was one of the best mentors that we've ever had for quite some time at COFA. Other than that, once again, thank you for having me. This is not my forte, speaking in front of adults. I'm a little nervous. I feel more comfortable in front of the kids. But anyways, I thank you for your time and have a good evening.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Everybody needs to go check out your new room, and you'll have to let us know the outcome of your application, please. Thank you. Okay, moving on to item 4, call to the public. Any person wishing to speak may present the information at this time only. All presentations are limited to a maximum of 3 minutes and a maximum of 15 minutes on each subject. Before you begin to speak, identify yourself by clearly stating for the record your name. Comments by members of the governing board in response to any public comment will be limited to asking staff to review the matter or requesting rescheduling of the matter for further consideration at a later date. I do have one person. Is there any more, Danny? Okay. And that would be Molly Fisher. Do you have the timer? Okay, good.
Good evening. My name is Molly Fisher. I am a senior in the Yuma Union High School District. Today I'm here to discuss the school's integration of standards-based grading. The system aims to measure specific learning objectives through test scores on a scale of 1 to 4. This method means that if a student fails to pass the lowest level, they fail the test, even if they excelled in the higher levels, which does not reflect their true understanding. For dedicated students, this can lead to significant stress and complications as they may need to retake tests and face delays, affecting their overall performance. Now, considering that you can get a 2 on half of your student learning objectives or assessments, and fail the other half of those assessments or student learning objectives, who is this really benefiting if you can fail half of them? Is it to just increase the number of graduates in our district? To add on to this, for the past, I think, 2 or 3 years, some of our math classes have had standard-based learning, and to my knowledge, some of the grades haven't necessarily improved, just to my knowledge. When it comes to one of the biggest school tests, the ACT, a study was conducted to compare students that were a part of a standards-based grading and a traditional grading. The students in the standards-based grading compared to the traditional-based grading in English and math managed to score significantly higher compared to the standard-based graders. Now, if we look at the College Board, none of them have adopted standards-based grading. How does this grading system in high school prepare us for the traditional grading system in college? Many students and teachers I've talked to about standard-based grading dislike it. It makes me wonder if it was discussed beforehand to students, teachers, the people affected. I'm personally not sure. Before I end this, I do want to state that I'm very grateful for everybody that is here. I know that you guys do so much for our school. Personally, I'm the historian for student body of Gila Ridge High School. I'm not here representing them, but we are very, very grateful for the Yuma Union High School District and what you guys do. Thank you very much for having a listening ear. Have a blessed rest of your evening.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Moving on to item 5, consent items. Let me just get there. Sorry. Adoption of items of routine nature and those that normally do not require deliberations on the part of the governing board. A board member may pull items which will be discussed and voted on separately. To my knowledge, there is nothing to be pulled, correct? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the consent items as presented?
I move that we, the governing board, approve the consent items as presented.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by Shelley, seconded by David. Let's take any comments? Okay. Let's take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 6.1, consideration to accept donations. I have a 3-page list this time from our very generous community, so I will read them now. Cibola High School, McNeese Brothers Oil Company Inc. donated $250 to the Cibola High School Skills USA Auto to be used as needed. Brent Hark, Amigo Farms Inc. donated $250 to the Cibola High School Skills USA Auto to be used as needed. Jonathan Reese, Foothills RV Service, donated $200 to the Cibola High School Skills USA Auto to be used as needed. Cibola High School Student Council donated Barnes & Noble gift cards to Cibola High School Library. The estimated value is $120. Donors Choose donated calculators to the Cibola High School chemistry class. The estimated value of this donation is $174. Donors Choose donated sensory items to the Cibola High School Social Workers Office to be used by students in need of support services. The estimated value of this donation is $628.64. Donors Choose donated classroom supplies to the Cibola High School Animal Kingdom class. The estimated value of this donation is $580. Donors Choose donated band supplies to the Cibola High School band program. The estimated value of this donation is $875. Juanita Gomez donated Halloween treat bags and party favors to the Cibola High School Home Health Aid 2 class. The estimated value of this donation is $70. Donors Choose donated art supplies to the Cibola High School Library to be used as supplement supplies used for their creative space activities. The estimated value of this donation is $450. Justin Hale donated cross-country uniforms to the Cibola High School cross-country team. The estimated value of this donation is $2,381.11. Kyle Souter donated water jugs to the Cibola High School athletic program. The estimated cost of this donation is $450. Whew. Gila Ridge High School, Lisa M. Dimwitty donated hard and paperback books to the Gila Ridge High School Library with an estimated value of $50. Hawks Band Booster donated band items to the Gila Ridge High School band program. The estimated cost of this donation is $1,888.77. Hawks Boys Soccer Booster donated $2,500 to the Gila Ridge High School boys soccer program to be used as needed. Lisa Salters donated 230 books to the Gila Ridge High School Library. The estimated total of this donation is $1,500. Donors Choose donated Destiny foam rollers to the Gila Ridge High School physical training classes. The estimated cost of this donation is $305. Dustin Payne Diamondbacks in Hollywell donated laser cutters to the Gila Ridge High School CTE engineering classroom. The estimated cost of this donation is $5,000. Hawks Wrestling Booster donated brackets, climbing rope, and a sanitizing mat to the Gila Ridge High School wrestling room. The estimated cost of this donation is $145. Kofa High School, Justin Hale once again, 4th Avenue Gym Foundation donated athletic uniforms and athletic sports gear to the Kofa High School athletic program with an estimated value of $6,233.47. Nutrient AG Solutions donated fertilizer to Kofa High School. The estimated value of this donation is $1,784.47. Leticia Soto, ASU Bilingual Press and Hispanic Research Center, donated books to the Kofa High School Library. The estimated cost of this donation is $398. Donors Choose donated sensory items to the Kofa High School Social Workers Office to be used by students in need of support services. The estimated value of this donation is $533. Donors Choose donated forensic science items to the Kofa High School Forensic Science Laboratories. The estimated value of this donation is $582.36. Donors Choose donated classroom supplies to the Kofa High School Biology and Forensic Science classes. The estimated value of this donation is $327.36. Yuma International Airport donated $500 to Kofa High School Crimson Baseball Program to purchase a promotional banner. Ailed Gonzalez donated cases of water and soda to the Kofa High School National Honor Society. The estimated cost of this donation is $45. Maria Valtierra donated drink mix to the Kofa High School Mental and Social Health Club. The estimated cost of this donation is $15. Page 3. Whew. San Luis High School. Chelsea Suarez Romero donated books to the San Luis High School Library. The estimated value of this donation is $48. Maria Sierra donated Starbucks gift cards to the San Luis High School to be used in the Reading Challenge. The cost of this donation is $30. Donors Choose donated badges, sensory items, rugs, and board games to San Luis High School Miss Sanchez 12th grade class. The estimated value of this donation is $1,233.91. Regional Center for Border Health, Inc. donated $500 to the San Luis High School Culinary Arts Program. To Somerton High School, Lowe's Home Improvement donated an insulated chest cooler to the Somerton High School Athletics Department to be used as needed. The estimated value of this donation is $40. Soma Yuma Football Booster donated a water tank dispenser to the Somerton High School Athletics Department. The estimated cost of this donation is $2,700. Salvador and Magnolia Alonso donated $2,000 to the Somerton High School wrestling program to be used as needed. To Yuma High School, Barkley Seed Inc. donated ryegrass seed to Yuma High School to be used as needed. The estimated value of this donation is $3,500. ASU Bilingual Press and Hispanic Research Center donated library books to the Yuma High School Library. The estimated value of this donation is $1,449. White Book Corporation donated White Book workbooks, it's a tongue twister, to Yuma High School teachers. The estimated value of this donation is $54.99. Sergio Quintera Next Care Urgent Care donated medical supplies to the Yuma High School athletics program. The estimated cost of this donation is $100. The total donations this month is $39,892.08, and total year-to-date donation is $93,559.38. It is recommended that the governing board accept the above listed donations. That is the longest list I have ever seen since being on the board. Is there a motion?
I move that we, the governing board, accept the generous donations as listed.
Second.
Perfect. A beautiful motion by Shelley, seconded by Dave. Any comments, questions? Then let's take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much, everybody. Ooh, that was a lot of talking. Consideration to approve the collaborative intergovernmental agreement for avid tutors, which is item 6.2. Let me just get to it. Oops, I went too far. Okay. This was all in our books. Are there any comments or questions that the board has? Great. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we, the board, approve the intergovernmental agreement.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by David, seconded by Shelley. All those, any comments?
None.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Action item 6.3, proposed budget review. Consideration to approve the budget revision for 2024-2025. It's recommended that the governing board approve this budget revision. Is there a motion?
I move that we, the governing board, approve the budget revision for 2024 and 2025.
Second.
Motion was made by Shelley, seconded by David to approve this. Any comments or questions? Any additional information we need that wasn't in the book? Great. Let's take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Action item 6.4, consideration to approve personnel. Let me get there. I went too far. It is recommended that the governing board approve the personnel action to hire the attached individual for the listed vacant positions. We had this on our board. Is there a motion? In our book, I'm sorry.
I'll make the motion that the governing board approve the personal action to hire the attached individual for the listed vacant position.
Second.
Motion made by David, seconded by Shelley. Any comments, questions?
None.
Then let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Action item 6.5. Consideration to appoint new board trustee to the Employee Benefit Trust Board. Is there a motion?
I move that we, the governing board, appoint Lisa Mendez to the Yuma Union High School District Employee Benefit Trust Board of Trustees.
Second.
Motion made by Shelley, seconded by David. Are there any comments or questions? The background was on our book. Great. Let's take a vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 6.6. Cruising along. It is recommended that the governing board approve the intergovernmental agreement with Pima County JTED. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion that the governing board approve the intergovernmental agreement with Pima County Joint Technical Education District.
Second.
Perfect. Motion made by David, seconded by Shelley. Any questions, comments, and concerns? It was in our books. Perfect. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 6.8, consideration to approve the fiscal year 2025 capital plan. Is there a motion?
I think we skipped 6.7.
6.0. I apologize. There's a lot of action items. 6.7. Thank you. I apologize. Item 6.7. It is recommended that the governing board approve the embedded academic credit for Army JROTC as presented.
I move that we, the governing board, approve the embedded academic credit for Army JROTC.
Second.
Thank you. Motion made by Shelley, seconded by David. Any comments? Then let's proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Now we will go to item 6.8. I'm so sorry about that.
Happens to all of us.
Yeah. Whew. Okay. This is consideration to approve the fiscal year 2025 capital plan. Is there a motion?
I'll make the motion that we, the governing board, approve the fiscal year 2025 capital plan for submission to the Arizona School Board Facilities Board.
Second.
Motion made by David, seconded by Shelley. Any comments? The information was in our books. Let's proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Action item 6.9. Consideration to approve the intergovernmental agreement for support services. Is there a motion?
I move that we, the governing board, approve the intergovernmental agreement with the Arizona Board of Regents.
Second.
Motion made by Shelley, seconded by David. Is there any comments? Are there any comments? Great. Let's proceed to vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Item 6.10, call for executive session, discussion or consideration of records exempt by law from public inspection. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Shelley, seconded by David. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, everybody. We probably won't see you when we get out.
pull the breaker.
Okay, we're back. Item number 7, is there anything for future agenda?
I'm good.
I think we're all good. Okay, then item 8, next meeting of the board. We're having a study session on October 9th at 4 p.m. in this room. And then our regular meeting on October 9th also at 5:15. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion that we adjourn.
Second.
Motion made, seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. See you next month.